they didn't take me seriously. I'm Danielle Bayard Jackson, a female friendship coach and educator. Yes, it is a thing. And today I'm talking to you about 4 benefits of female friendship. You know, when I first got into this and I was telling people I'm a friendship coach, they thought about my background as a high school teacher and as a publicist, and were trying to make sense of why I'd get into something that's seemingly so silly. It's often met with condescension, like people being like, oh, that's adorable, or total confusion. And I can't blame them because there is no blueprint for what it is I do. Friendship itself is already seen as something that should be easy, something that's sometimes viewed as juvenile, like it's kids play, that surely children would need help with friendship, but not an adult. So you have that. And then you have me saying that I work with women. So when we talk about women's friendship, I mean, generally, unfortunately, sometimes in our culture, anything seen as a feminine interest is viewed as frivolous. So the issue of being a friendship coach is like compounded with being a female friendship coach, and people don't really kind of take it seriously. Now, before anyone comments like, well, why are you talking just about women? Why not friendship in general? Yes, friendship in general has a myriad of health benefits. And I actually talked about that in my most recent episode of the Friend Forward podcast. But I double down on working with women because there are ways in which individually and collectively we are biologically shaped and culturally conditioned. And when I speak to evolutionary psychologists and anthropologists and communication experts about all the ways in which we have different behavioral tendencies and different neurological wiring in some ways, you put all that together and it makes for a relationship among women that looks different than relationships among men. So with that being said, if our friendships, our platonic relationships look different, what are the advantages that those unique relationships offer us? Benefit number 1 of female friendships is emotional support. Now, this doesn't tend to surprise anyone, but there's research that shows that the number 1 thing that women look for in their same-sex friendships is emotional support. It doesn't surprise me at all. In a lot of different arenas and roles that we play in our life, we get the short end of the stick. Women are predominantly the caregivers for the elderly or people who are in vulnerable positions. They are primarily taking care of children, although I'm so glad that that's shifted culturally and others are, you know, men are stepping up to the plate as well. And despite having high-level positions, we're still being saddled with, you know, extra work or work that's not necessarily in our role. We go through this world sometimes where there's this power dynamic introduced, and we need the support of a peer, of someone who understands, of someone who knows what it's like to navigate this world as a woman, because it's validating. And there's tons of research that shows just how important that is to your life and your identity. So being friends with another woman kind of offers that support when we bring to her a very woman-centered situation, and she can identify and help support us through it. The second benefit of female friendships is the physical advantages that we reap when we are among other women. So you might already be familiar with the concept of fight or flight as stress responses. Well, about 20 years ago, when they did that research study again, this time with women, they discovered that we have 2 additional stress responses: tend and befriend. So when we are responding to distress, we'll either go and tend to those who we deem more vulnerable, who might need to be taken care of to make sure that they're good, or we befriend, meaning we go and we gather with other women. And when we do that, there's a decrease in cortisol, the stress hormone, and an increase in oxytocin, which is kind of like the love hormone, right? The connection and bonding hormone. And so when we come together with other women, it has this kind of, I guess, like physiological response, which is really cool and really powerful. And so it's nice to see that being with other women is not just this feel-good rah-rah message that you see sometimes like in the movies or in different like girl power chanting songs, but that it has these real tangible physical benefits to our health and well-being. There are also professional benefits. There's a study I saw a while ago in the Harvard Business Review that revealed that as they surveyed, high-level, high-achieving women, the difference between them and those who were not at their success level was having a female-dominated circle. So if they have women-centered circles, they were earning 2.5 times more money. They were also more likely to advance in their careers. And so I have my theories as to why that happens. It's possible because when we come together, we tend to share information and make connections, and we're really prone to being attuned to relationship. And so exchanging information in that way, that's helpful, and that helps us to get ahead, right? To have that intel. I think it also is because about, benefit number one that we talked about with emotional support. So if you are going through something at work, a woman who especially is like in a male dominated space can support you through that and help you to be more resilient. So I think there are a lot of different reasons for that, but it's nice to see the research prove what some of us might kind of suspect to be true, which is women who have the backing of other women are really thriving at work. And the fourth benefit of female friendship is increased self-awareness. There's something about looking at another woman, watching how she navigates the world, and having her serve as some kind of mirror and model for your life. Being friends with another woman is almost an extension of yourself as you watch her kind of experiment with different ways to be in the world, with how she dresses, how she shows up at work, how she mothers, should she choose to mother. And being friends with another woman allows you to be more in your body and to make decisions about yourself as you kind of watch an extension of yourself and your womanhood play out with this mirror image. Working as a women's friendship coach is definitely not something I had on my vision board when I was a child, but here I am. And for the past 4 years, it's gone from being this kind of obscure thing that people didn't get, and I was 2 weeks away from shutting down the business, to fast forward a few years later, and it is now something that has earned me the blessing of getting a 6-figure book deal to write about the art and function of conflict in female friendships. And it's led to tons of one-on-one sessions with women across the world, allowing me to hear their heart as we work together to co-create strategies to position them to invite healthier connections into their lives. All because there's such a need for women to get support in an area where you sometimes feel like you shouldn't need help. If we treat friendship like it's something that is so easy or organic and natural, then when we find that we are having like some struggles trying to figure it out, there's almost like this hidden shame of getting it wrong. I'm happy to be serving in this role because it really matters. And so until the next video, I'll be right here rooting for you always on your ongoing journey toward better female friendship. Until next time.